Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A wrap-up of markets on Friday, the last day of this week, is good for the bulls. The market are in top shape. Nifty almost at its day's high, kissing distance of 24,900 for you, up about 275 points. Today, both banks and IT are supporting the index very well. The Nifty IT index is up 500 points, that's 1.36%, and of course you have Nifty Bank adding about 481 points. Lots of interesting things happening, particularly in the defense space. You have Garden Reach up 1.5%. This is the third most active counter, 2000 crores traded. You have Reliance Power coming back into top traded counters, up 14% at 51 rupees. Almost 1800 crores worth of transactions have happened, and you have a nice green tint coming into ITC, into Varun Beverages, Trent Lifestyle 2% higher, 54.50. JBM Auto up 4.5%, and a lot of stocks in the power ancillary space doing pretty well. In particular, Power Mech up about 7.5%. At about 3165. The mood is buoyant across the board. About 1670 stocks are in the green compared with 820 in the red. So it's an easy 2:1. We tracked 19 indices for you, and all 19 of them are in the green except for the Nifty Pharma index. So strong rallies happening across the board on the last day of the week, primarily driven by short covering on the Nifty, because this is also the final 5 trading sessions of May's expiry. What we'll do now, ladies and gentlemen, join forces with Mr. Neeraj Dewan. He's a very well-known market commentator and has been into stocks over the last 3 decades or so. Namaste Neeraj ji, a very warm welcome to you. A very welcome rally on the Lal Street today on the last day of the week. How are you seeing the markets at this point of time?
Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, definitely. The market today is in a cheerful mood and giving good returns for a lot of mid caps plus large cap space. I think after the run up from 22,000 to 25,000, there was definitely some sell off that we saw, some profit taking. But today's rally is making good all the losses we made in the last couple of days. So definitely it's a good cheerful market today.
Okay, cheer all around. Let me just look at how the top 10 index stocks are performing, ladies and gentlemen. As I have said, both banks and IT are clicking in top shape. Let's look at the numbers. In terms of gains, you have ITC being the top gainer today in the index top 10, up 2.5%. You have Bajaj Finserv adding 2.1% at 2043. Kotak is in top shape, 2% higher. Banks including Axis about 1.9. You have HDFC and ICICI Bank adding about 0.5% each, and of course you have Reliance also contributing 1.3%. So everything that could go right today is in top shape and doing pretty well in the markets. Neeraj ji, where is your short-term attention in the market? What are you advising your clients to do at this juncture, and anything that you may have added in terms of long-term delivery over the last 5 sessions or so?
Yeah, actually, after the run-up, which we have seen about 3,000 points, I had been advising my clients now to be very stock specific, because earlier it was so easy. Last couple of times we met on this show also, that there were a number of stocks that you can identify, buy, because market was giving you a lot of opportunities. But now you have to be very careful, because even in the mid cap, small cap space, stocks are not that cheap. But of course, there are pockets where you get valuation. Even in the large cap space, you get some valuation comfort. But then it's very stock specific now. And I've been looking at earlier, like we met a couple of times on the show. We were discussing defense stock, some pharma, some railway names, some banks. So in last about 4-5 sessions, if you say what I've added, I'm looking at stocks which have good valuation comfort. There was something like a Jindal Saw which I felt, valuation-wise has become attractive after the negative news and the stock correction.
Yes.
Bajaj Auto is one which in the large cap space I thought that it's looking attractive now, looking at its long-term averages and the kind of top-line growth it has shown over the last 3-4 years. Then in the capital goods space, L&T and Action Construction Equipment are the one which added. Plus, in the pharma space, Pfizer is one. Plus, which I feel that valuation-wise is attractive. So these are some names which recently been added, and plus even booked some profit in the earlier defense stocks, and some stocks that it added earlier.
Yes. Where have you made a partial exit in the defense space, or maybe a full exit?
So it's been partial exit only in stocks like Buzzgor Dock and Data Patterns. And these are the two stocks which partially exited because I think the profit that happened in the last month or month and a half was considerable return from these stocks. So and because they even that corrected a lot, like Mazda came down to 2000, 2100, Data Pattern was 1500, 1600 levels. So they have very good returns from those levels. So some profit taking plus,
Okay.
even in the railway space, you've seen good returns. So some profit taking was done in Titagarh wagons also.
Okay, okay. I was just watching the auto ancillary space, Neeraj, something that you track pretty closely. Banco India, this is a 1:1 bonus. The stock has again reclaimed almost its previous high in a span of maybe 6 months or so. A view, if you have any, on the auto ancillary space, something that catches your attention, maybe Banco India, if you would like to comment, or anything that your clients have added in the auto ancillary space over the last 1 month or so.
So basically, not specifically auto ancillary, not added anything in that space recently. I think it's more like a company like Bajaj Auto, and even something like a Castrol, which is related to the auto space, is something which added and the clients have added. I think Castrol, keeping in mind that there can be a global, deal there because they're looking at exiting, so the valuation may be attractive, once the deal happens. So based on that, Castrol and plus Bajaj Auto because of valuation, nothing specifically in auto ancillary that we added recently.
Okay, so Castrol is something that we can look forward to. Of course, this is an oil AMC. We did interview its main competitor, Gulf Oil, fairly today morning. Let me just look at the Castrol price. Rice, I remember it was 220. Okay, 208. So it's not moved much for the moment. Today it's lying flat at about 3.4% lower. So that's how it is. All-time high for Castrol, I think, was 320, if I remember correctly. Yes, 280 is what we see somewhere in the vicinity of September 2024. What hopes with Castrol, Neeraj? Where do you see it headed?
Actually, if you see the the kind of news that we've read over the last couple of months about, there is good interest from Saudi Aramco or Shell, these companies to acquire Castrol lubricant business. So if that happens, I think they will be looking toward the Indian market because Indian market is still a faster growing market than other geographies are concerned. So the Indian business can get a good value, if the deal happens. So that is, and plus it's not expensive anywhere at this price.
Okay.
So plus valuation is fine, and if the deal happens, then you can get a good move from these levels.
Okay, fair point. Other auto ancillaries are also in top shape. Look at Sona Comstar, 2% higher today at 539. Let me just drill down into the ancillary space. How many do we track? We track somewhere like 45 ancillaries for you. Today almost 22, 23 are in the green. JBM Auto, a part of also the top traded list today, Almost 380 crores worth of JBM Auto has been traded, 4.6% higher at 743. You have Talbros Auto 4% higher. Forging companies such as Nelcast are in top shape. Volume of about 4,80,000. Precision Wire flat at about 179, but fairly decent volumes coming in. All-time high for Precision Wire is about 221, so still way off, but moves coming in into Sona Comstar, Bharat Seeds, AC maker Subros, Uno Minda, and of course Wheels India. These are the stocks that are doing immensely well in the space. Today's top traded counter post earnings is Honasa Software. Neeraj, would you have a view on this one? The counter is, I think, 19% higher at 327. Would you track this one?
No, I don't track Honasa, so I would have a view on Honasa. Because thus it's been quite volatile also as far as the earnings are concerned.
If you look at the I so agree with you. I knew you would not track it, but this is something that needs to be mentioned because of the sheer volume that is coming post earnings. Let's look at record highs in the market today. All-time highs in NSE 500 are interesting. HDFC Life. I can't remember the last time I saw a record high on this one, but 2.9% higher. Still, for long-term shareholders, it's been a value destroyer, but good to see it moving up today. Max Financials, 4.1% higher, 1471. We've discussed Garden Reach, BEL, BDL, and Solar Industries fairly often from the defense space. You have APL Apollo and Power India. Power India is formerly Hitachi. These are the stocks that are at record high levels in markets today. Fresh 52-week highs, anything that can catch? Yes, I think Neeraj would track Dalmia Bharat. 2150, 2% higher. Neeraj, a view on Dalmia Bharat, if at all?
Yeah, actually, among the cement companies, is definitely a very well managed company, and we've seen, the kind of returns we got from the stock has been very good over the years. So I think even now also
Yes.
at these levels, I think it's definitely should be looked at because cement prices were increased some time back, and that benefit will come now also. So in this quarter, so I think volumes will pick up because of the liquidity. Even the execution has picked up in most of the infrastructure, space companies. So that will also help the demand for cement and cement companies. So Dalmia Bharat is among the, one of the top picks in the cement, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. The other thing being that it is a completely domestic focused industry, nothing to do with the tariff war that seems to be fought on and off globally between us and China and US and US and India. So this is, cement is one space that is completely immune to these problems. Neeraj, are you or your clients on the hunt for any PSU banking stocks?
Yes, actually, there are a couple of stocks which I'd like to mention. One is Union Bank, and the other one is Canara Bank. These two stocks, even on valuations, are attractive.
Okay.
Canara Bank earlier was, a couple of quarters before, was not performing well. There was some provision, some write-offs which are happening there. But this quarter, the last quarter, they showed some improvement. So I think this is one where one can accumulate, and we've also accumulated. And Union Bank is another one where the results were good, and I think even now on valuation front it looks attractive. So Union Bank, I think, can give 15-20% return even in the short to medium term from these levels.
A view on IFCI Limited, if at all, 11% higher. We've also seen IDBI Bank doing the round in terms of gains. These are, of course, all-time favorites 30-35 years ago. Neeraj, would you want to comment on these two?
Actually, IFCI, you've seen normally it moves when you see some movement in the unlisted NSE stocks. So I think this, I think they still hold some. I'm not too sure,
Huh.
but they still hold some stake
Yes.
in NSE. So the last couple of days, you've seen the unlisted space in NSE shares have moved up.
Yes.
If you check the prices, so they've been going up every day the last 2 3 days. So that I think is what is rubbing off on stocks like IFCI. So, but beyond that, I think there's nothing specific that you can talk of as far as IFCI is concerned.
Okay. I'm not very sure whether IFCI still has that stake or not, but Neeraj ji does have a valid reason explaining the fact that over the last 2 or 3, at least 1 week, the unlisted space has seen a lot of buzz on National Stock Exchange unlisted stocks for 2 reasons. I think the numbers were fantastic, the dividend was phenomenal, and there is some move that is coming in on SEBI giving Tuesday as the NSC expiry day. It's too complicated, don't get into it, but the cash, the unlisted space has NSC buzzing a lot, and that's also reason, ladies and gentlemen, that the Bombay Stock Exchange, even after adjusting for 2:1 split, is up 5% today. So this is a war that's happening between NSC and BSC in terms of gaining market supremacy or gaining market share or maintaining market share, and that's the reason why you have a very, very strong move coming into Bombay Stock Exchange. Post split, it is up 5%. Normally, as Neeraj ji would tell you, that over a period of time the stock corrects substantially post its bonus split, but no absolutely let up in demand on Bombay Stock Exchange. Today the entire space of brokers and all is up. Neeraj ji, any favorites that you have here?
Yeah, if you see, there's been a very good movement in stocks like Angel One, which has been the top performing as well as broker stocks are concerned. That stock has given very good return in the last few days. I think now after this run up, one can ride if you already bought it, but there's no point chasing it after the stock has come up by 500 600 rupees the last 2 3 4 days only. So, but in the
Correct.
capital market space, like I have earlier also mentioned, and I like something like Nippon Asset Management, which is a long-term portfolio stock because the
Okay.
growth will continue as far as mutual fund industry is concerned, and they are one of the good performing mutual funds. So that is one which is a long-term portfolio stock, and I think pure brokerage, like I mentioned, there's been a run-up, so there's no point chasing it after this huge run-up that we've seen recently. You can wait for dips because if market is going to perform like the date is performing now and it remains steady, people are able to churn. They are getting good prices. You've seen some 52-week highs happening. So, when churning happens, then volume picks up, new account opening will pick up. So that is, when you see good returns from broker related stocks. So if that continues, definitely it will be good for these companies. But to buy, I think one should wait for a little, correction, little dip, and then you can enter.
Okay. Uh, Neeraj ji, any spaces that you are completely avoiding?
Yeah, basically, there was a move in, steel stocks recently because of the China, interest rate move that they did recently. So I think that space is one where I don't think the ferrous, I'm talking about the ferrous space. So in the ferrous space, I'm not too sure whether that will sustain or the stocks will keep on performing. So I've used this opportunity to like maybe prune some positions and focus more on the non-ferrous space there. And other spaces, IT, where I think there's still not too much clarity on what will happen as far as the business from US is concerned. One, because of the slowdown or the concern which can creep in US markets. And of course, the tariff issue is still not clear. So even if that is sorted out, still, the economy growth in US, we're not really clear how that will pan out for the next couple of quarters. So that these are two spaces where I'm being little cautious.
Okay. With that, Neeraj ji, we'll call it a day. Thank you so much for your time. And of course, we'll remember the advice on specifically auto ancillaries and brokerage stocks. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
That, ladies and gentlemen, was Neeraj Dewan, a market observer for the last 3 decades or so. He takes very long-term positions in deep value stocks, holds them up for 3, 4, 5 years and makes supernormal money. There's a lot that's happening on the other side of the break. What we'll do is we'll pause for a while, but you stay glued on Business Today Television. There is a lot that's coming up just a while later. Thank you for watching.
Let's go to Karishma.
Hi, this is Karishma from India. I have a question on the recent bailout package by IMF to Pakistan. The Indian government has expressed a lot of displeasure with Pakistan planning to use this package to rebuild areas that allegedly support cross-border terrorism. Does the IMF has any assessment of